Charles Darwin first publicly developed his take on gradualism in the first edition of The Origin of Species in 1859. The big picture view on Darwinian gradualism was that the accumulation of small quantitative changes eventually leads to major qualitative changes. Darwin argued that a species' physical characteristics gradually change over time due to natural selection and other inputs from the environment. In the present day, the idea that phenotypic changes are uniform and gradual is controversial, given that phenotypes do not change slowly and steadily in the fossil record. Darwin in his writings mostly, though not exclusively, ignored the absence of gradualism, or instead, when he saw what appeared to be geologically rapid change, chalked it up to the imperfection of the fossil record. Niles, Eldredge, and Stephen Jay Gould proposed a different view of evolution, where punctuational change dominates the history of life. They argued that most species during their lifetimes and throughout geological history either do not change in any appreciable way, or else they fluctuate mildly in morphology, with no apparent direction. In addition, they held that phyletic gradualism is very rare and too slow to be responsible for the great majority of macroevolutionary change. Gradualism is now largely seen as inconsistent with modern evolutionary ideas. This is because natural selection is so powerful that the amount of time to transition between an ancestral species and its descendant might take a few thousand years, which is a literal blink of an eye in the fossil record and would appear punctuational. By contrast, to have a gradual transition between one species and another that takes hundreds of thousands to millions of years, the average lifespan of a species requires selection pressures too low to be measured or sustained. However, when Darwin first developed his ideas on phyletic gradualism, that was not recognized. Further, those ideas fit into the prevalent cultural context of 19th century Britain. This cultural context may partly explain why the idea eventually received such widespread support.